Gamers, our new farming village is coming along quite nicely, but there's still definitely a lot of work to do. In this episode, I want to add a bunch more farms, houses, and various decorations, so let's get started. Alright, so starting off this episode, I want to create another farmhouse over in this area over here, and just add in a giant wheat and carrot field in this area. We also have some naturally spawned pumpkins here that'll fit in pretty nicely. You know, I don't even have to do any work for it, it's already there for us. And so yeah, I'm thinking this spot right here will be perfect for our farming house. So let's start off by placing in the outline for everything here. Let's also slap our door in here, and there's our front wall almost done. Actually, we need to add in our window here. Let's get our scaffolding out and extend this wall up. This is the area where the roof is going to be around. Speaking of which, let's actually add in our roof now. So let's start off with our trim here. We're going to bring this all the way up here, and let's of course repeat this on the other side. And there we go. There's our front wall done. Now I'm just going to fill in pretty much the rest of the house here. It's the same house that we built in the last episode, so yeah, nothing too crazy. Okay, there we go. There's our house all done. Well, except for a couple of details. Let's add this design in here with a torch on the front, and we'll add another torch on the back as well. And yeah, now I'm going to get started planting a whole bunch of wheat and probably carrots as well around the place. I'm also going to fill in this area here with some more dirt just because, you know, it's a little bit whack over here. And so yeah, I'm going to of course do that as a time lapse, and let's get started right now. Okay, and there we go. There's our first farmhouse, well, you know, almost done. I completely ran out of carrots, so I'm probably just gonna wait for these to grow, and then I'll plant the rest of them here. Don't worry about that. And now, while I was running back and forth between this farmhouse and the actual, town center over there, I came across this nice little, ravine thing. I don't know how far down it goes. Okay, not that crazy far, but I thought it would be a nice spot for the mine entrance of the town. Now, usually I tend to make my mine entrances more you know, on the side of a mountain, kind of like in this area here, but this one's actually flat, on the ground, so it'll be a bit of a challenge to make something looking nice for this, but let's just go ahead and give it a try. Okay, so I think I have a little bit of an idea of what I want to do for this mine entrance. So first, let's clean up the landscape a little bit. Let's open it up here and just smoothen some edges off like that. Let's also maybe open this area up here as well, just a little bit. There we go. Okay, there we go. That's looking good. Now what I think I want to do is surround the entrance of the hole with some stone and andesite. So let's just add a ring of andesite and stone, just kind of in a randomized textured pattern around the entrance here. It's very rough looking at the moment, but just don't worry about that. Now for the next thing, let's go ahead and start adding in some slabs and stuff around the edges here, just to, you know, smoothen the transition off a little bit better. Okay, and there we go. You can kind of see what I'm trying to do here. I don't actually know if this is actually going to work out. Now let's add some slabs on top of the area here. We're not going to bring this in too far. I kind of want this to just be like a little bit of a lip around the edge of this rock thing here. And I think actually to make this interior look a whole lot nicer, let's just replace all of the dirt blocks around here with some stone instead. I think that's going to help kind of make it look a little bit better and more natural looking, like as if this was a big rock that was here that leads to a big cave entrance. And there we go. That's a very unique looking mine entrance. I'm not sure if I've actually seen a mine entrance that kind of looks like this before. It is a little bit on the weird side, don't get me wrong. But now let's start cleaning up the interior a bit here and add in maybe a staircase that goes down. I don't want it to be too established looking of a staircase. So let's grab out some planks, stairs, and slabs here and just start adding in a little bit of a kind of rickety old staircase. Let's maybe off-center these ones and have it come down this way. Let's maybe add in some dirt here to make it a little bit of a cliff kind of thing. Okay, and there we go. There's our super simple rickety old looking staircase added in. Now let's maybe add in a bit of a bracing support thing on the inside here. We could also maybe replace this middle one with a fence so that we can add a lantern onto that as well. I think that'll look nice. Then let's maybe add in another support thing in between these blocks here, and then we kind of need to even it out with another one on this side. So let's add one in. Actually, let's do it there so it actually links up to the top there. And yeah, there we go. There's a nice unique looking mine entrance design. Actually, I think this goes down a little bit too far. Let's actually bring that up a little bit higher. All right, now it's time to add in some detail to this bad boy. So first off, I'm thinking on this little area here, let's actually remove this block and dig out a little bit of a tunnel here. I don't want this to be too big. Let's maybe go this deep here. Actually, maybe one more. Okay. Then let's remove a couple of these blocks around here. Now let's add in some furnaces like this, and then let's, you know, maybe cover up these holes and change some of this to some more stone, just so it looks a little bit nicer. And then let's even add in a couple of decorative blocks, like maybe a barrel here. Let's have a chest to the left. And then on this side, let's maybe add in a crafting table. Now I actually want to make some stone slabs and add that in for the roof here. Okay, that's actually very close to the surface. All right, we'll fix that up later. Don't worry about it. Okay, that's looking pretty nice. Now, directly above this, I actually want to add in a little bit of a, what's it called? You know what I'm trying to say? A chimney. Yeah, that thing. So up here, let's fix up the landscape a little bit around this. And then on top of these blocks right here, let's add in a 2x2 like kind of tower thing with some stone and stone bricks, of course. We're gonna have it nice and textured as well. Okay, and then on top of here, let's add in a whole bunch of camp. Oh my Jesus Christ, dude, I always seem to forget that. Frickin' A. Okay, and like I was saying, up here, let's add in some spruce trapdoors to cover up all of the exposed flames. And there we go, there's our chimney for the mine. Yeah, of course it looks oddly phallic, but we're just not going to mention that, even though I just did mention that. Yeah, just don't worry, okay? All right, and now it is time to add in some details to this area of the mine here. So let's maybe add a barrel right here with a chest beside that, and on top of that, let's chuck our lantern. Then maybe over on this side, let's add maybe a chest here, and then an extinguished campfire below. Also in this spot, let's add in like a little bit of a recessed area. Then in here, let's add in a barrel, a chest, maybe on top of this, another extinguished campfire. Also we need a lantern in here. Let's chuck one on top of that crafting table. Now I feel like we need a detail right here, right next to the entrance. So let's add in maybe a barrel with a flower pot in that. And let's also add a flowering azalea inside. And now the last little touch is I just want to add some grass into here as well. Let's just sprinkle in a couple of pieces just around the place. And yeah, there we go. We're now fully done with our decorated mine entrance. I'm very happy with the way this turned out. It looks awesome. Okay, now with that mine entrance done, the next thing I think I want to go ahead and do is make a bridge to connect this area here over to this side, and then add some more houses along up this way. And so right now, as you can see, we don't really need a bridge here. It's not like, you know, that crazy of an angle. We can just, you know, jump up and down it. So what I want to do is make it a little bit more of a drop off here. Maybe excavate 2 or 3 layers of dirt down here, just to make these edges a bit more of a cliff so that we can actually connect our bridge up to and fro. So yeah, once again, we're going to get started with an excavation time lapse right now. Okay, and now with our area excavated, as you can see, we have a nice little valley here. I also have another plan for this area, which I think will be pretty cool, but we'll get to that after the bridge is done. So yeah, let's start off with outlining the bridge pillars here. So this bridge is going to be 5 blocks wide in total with a pathway of 3 blocks wide. And I think let's go with gaps of 5 between all of these pillars. And now let's just hope and pray that this links up to the other side in the correct way. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's pretty much almost perfect. We'll just shave off a little bit of the land here, just like that, just to make it look a little bit more even looking, I guess. But hell yeah, that worked out pretty well. Now I'm going to add our pillars on this side and then raise them all up to the same height as these blocks here. So just give me a second and I'll get that done right now. Okay, so now with all of our pillars added in, it's time to add in the design that's obviously going to fill up the sides here. So let's start it off on the very far left side. Let's actually extend this pillar down a little bit because it's going to look a little bit better. I'll probably remove this as well, just so we have a nice flat face here to work with. Okay, and so firstly starting off, let's add some upside down stairs that are going to connect the pillars here at the top. And now as for below this, let's add in a nice textured wall with some stone and andesite. We're going to be leaving a gap in the middle as we're going to be adding in a pretty neat design here. So we're going to add an additional stair block right here, and then let's chuck in a dark oak door there as well. And this will create a nice little pass through that we can use to get to the other side if we ever wanted to. We're probably never going to need to, but I think it's a pretty nice design to add in. Now looking at this, I feel like it does look a little bit bland, so I think we need to add in something extra to this. I'm also going to extend these pillars all the way down just to make it look better once again. And yeah, it's just these areas here that are lacking a little bit. So maybe let's just try a few different things. Yeah, that's definitely not going to be one of the things that's going to work. Okay, so next let's try actually removing these stair blocks here, and maybe let's try going with something a bit more of like an arch design, and then let's connect these up with maybe some spruce trap doors. And then let's add some down below there as well. And then let's of course fill in this gap too. There we go. How's that looking? Not very great. Yeah, I don't think the spruce trapdoors are gonna work here. It's more of an established looking bridge, and the trapdoors just kind of make it look a bit flimsy, I guess. Okay, so now let's maybe try a bit more of an established looking arch, maybe just using stone stairs and stone slabs and, you know, stone blocks as well. So let's try something like this instead and see how that looks. Let's fill in these blocks as well. And yeah, that's looking pretty nice. But the only problem is I'm thinking the above area here where I had planned to originally add something like this, I think it's gonna look kind of weird. I don't know, does it? Maybe not. It's not too bad. Actually, I think what'll look better, let's change those to some stone bricks instead. Okay, and yeah, I think that is the winner. That is looking pretty nice. I also just had another idea for an awesome detail we could add to this. Give me a second once again. And that idea is to add in some spruce trap doors on these little parts here, and then add some signs to the left and right of those. And yeah, it's just a nice little extra detail to make this area look a little bit less bland. And yeah, that's gonna be an awesome looking bridge. And so yeah, now I'm gonna continue adding in this design into every single section except for our center one here. I'm gonna leave that blank, and we'll get back to this once I've finished adding in all of this area. Okay, and there we go. There's our bridge pretty much completely done. And that leads us over to this area that I left blank. And you probably may have guessed by now, I'm going to be adding in a nice little river to this. Now, I'm not exactly sure how, like, far... Oh, what the hell? Okay, we might need to cover that up. That looks pretty weird. Yeah, I think I might start it maybe up here, coming out of the side of this little hill. We'll have it come down this way. And then, yeah, I don't know exactly how far I want it to go. We might end up just maybe ending it down here in, like, a little bit of a pond next to our house. So yeah, let's get started doing that right now. So I think let's maybe start it from these blocks right here, as if it's like, you know, kind of an underground river thing. Let's just excavate a nice little area for it to run in. And then as we get down to this area here, let's maybe widen it out a little bit more, just so it kind of fits from edge to edge of our thingamajiggy here. Let's have it extend all the way under this area as well, and then we can continue it off this way. Let's maybe curve it off to the left a little bit, shrink it up as well, and end it in a bit of a pond design right here, right next to our little farmhouse that we just made before. And yeah, that's looking pretty nice. Now let's get this bad boy filled up with water. Okay, there's our river, all done, all added in. Now let's go ahead and add in some nice little details along the side of this as well. I don't want to go too crazy with the details. I want to keep it pretty light, because I did just have another idea for something cool to add alongside the river, kind of towards the bridge over there, but we'll get to that in just a second. So let's do our first pass of just adding in a bunch of sugar canes along the side of the river here. Now I'm just placing in one block high of these because, you know, obviously they're going to grow, so it's not that big of a deal anyway. I would love to add some lily pads in here, but unfortunately, I don't have those yet. I don't really know where a swamp is at the moment, so yeah, kind of annoying. And now let's just go back along the river, adding in some flowering azaleas and some moss carpet blocks as well. Once again, we're keeping it pretty light with these details. Nothing too crazy, you know. I also do have some grass here to add back into this area. But yeah, there we go. That's pretty much it with the light detail that I wanted to add to this. And now the next thing that I want to add next to the river, past the details that we just added, is some more farms that run up along the sides here. They're not going to be too thick because we do need to keep some room for our doors here. Or, I mean, we could even add pathways in between all of the crops and just fill up this entire area. I think that'll look way better. So yeah, we're going to fill up this entire side, this side as well. And we'll also do a little bit on this side as well. Probably, yeah, just this area, and then we'll keep it on this side as well. And yeah, once again, I'm going to do that as a time lapse. I feel like half of this video is just going to be time lapses, which, I mean, it's just the nature of this episode. So hopefully that's not too annoying. But yeah, we're going to get started doing that right now. All right, and there's all of the crops added alongside the river, all the ones that I wanted to add in at least. And yeah, apologies for the rain, visibility kind of sucks at the moment. But yeah, these will look absolutely amazing once they have all grown in. So hopefully they all do grow in before the end of this episode. I'm kind of getting all this stuff done, you know, relatively quickly. But I'll try and make sure to get a shot of this before the end of the episode at least, when it's all grown in. Okay, and so now with all of that done, that leads us over to the other side of the bridge. And over here, like I said before, we're going to be adding in some more house designs similar to these ones. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is flatten off the area a bit, get it nice and prepped to add in a couple of nice houses over here. And then, yeah, I mean, I'm going to build some houses over here. So yeah, these are going to be pretty similar to these ones. So I'm just going to be doing them as a time lapse once again, because I feel like it's going to be kind of boring just watching me build the same thing. And so yeah, let's get started with that time lapse right now. Alright, and so that just about does it for that side of the village. I only ended up adding 3 houses in just because I feel like it might look weird if we add too many more. And the other reason is also because I am lazy. And yeah, now I want to go ahead and add in a bunch of details around the place. I also need to connect up the pathway here to our actual village. So I might actually go ahead and do that real quick first. Okay, there we go. There's our pathway now actually connected up to our bridge and to the other side of the village over there. So now what it's time to do is go ahead and add in a bunch of details around the place. Starting off with some lamppost designs. These are just going to be super simple designs. Simply just a stone brick wall with a lantern on top. I didn't want to do anything too crazy, just to keep it kind of, you know, mellow and a different style to the other villages that we've already built. And I just feel like this is nice and simple and, you know, easy to build as well and pretty effective at the same time. Also, you might be able to see we've got some boys over here. Yeah, they haven't actually started attacking me yet, thankfully. And, yeah, I honestly just do not feel like dealing with them. So I'm just going to leave them and hope that they despawn eventually. All right, and there we go. There's our lampposts added in. Actually, I feel like we might have added in a little bit too many to this area here. Let's actually get rid of those ones. Okay, there we go. Now it's time to add in some more details, like some barrel piles. Let's also chuck an extinguished campfire in there with a flower pot and an azalea as well. Something super simple like this, adding it into just some random spots along your village and stuff can definitely spruce it up and make it look really interesting and awesome, and just makes it feel a little bit more alive as well. Now, something as well that I like to add to my bridges is just some, you know, similar details to what we just did over there. So let's maybe add in just something like that. And then down here, let's maybe even add in like a hay bale with a chest beside it. And yeah, just those 2 designs like that can just help, you know, make your bridge feel like it's actually being used. And yeah, it's just a nice and easy way to add some detail to your village. So yeah, I'm going to continue adding in some of these designs everywhere, and I'll be back in just a second. Okay, now with all of those details added in, I think what I want to go ahead and do next is extend our little shopping district here, because it's looking very sad and small. And yeah, so like I said in the last episode, I think I want to bring it around this way. So let's go ahead and add in maybe the front of another stall right here. And let's just quickly build this one up as well. You know, it's the exact same design. Actually, it's a little bit too small. We're gonna have to extend it out a little bit here. Okay, and as for this stall, let's add in an extinguished campfire and maybe a flower pot with a cornflower inside of it. There we go. And now off to the left here, let's maybe add in another kind of table stall one, similar to these ones over here. And let's maybe have it like curved instead. So let's place 2 in like that. Then let's maybe grab out some slabs and let's do something like that and then have it come over this way. Does that look weird? I think it does, to be quite honest. Oh well, we're gonna go with it, okay? And now let's kind of repeat the same thing over this way. I don't know exactly how this is going to work. There we go. That's not perfect, but it works, I guess. Let's strip all of these as well. Now we can just add a whole bunch of details on top of these, like some flower pots with some flowers inside, of course. A couple of extinguished campfires. Let's maybe even place one like off the side of the table here. Let's actually replace this one here, maybe with a barrel, and let's chuck a chest on the end of that one there. I don't know why I said there like that. That was kind of weird. And now let's get some spruce planks, turn these into spruce buttons, and actually go ahead and add these to a bunch of our existing stores. Let's maybe chuck one on here. Let's add one there. We've already added one on this side. We can add another one. Why the hell not? And now over here, let's chuck in maybe 3 like that. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Let's also, we can't forget to place on some lanterns as well to keep it nice and bright. And yeah, that's looking pretty nice, although we are lacking in the grass department over here. So I think what I'm going to do now is grab my shears out and let's redistribute this grass a little bit. Because yeah, it's looking a little bit bland up here. You know, there's some big patches with no grass. So let's add some in and let's just sprinkle some in around here as well. Not too much. We don't want it to look like it's overgrown to the max, you know. Okay, let's also add some in around here. And yeah, that's looking a lot better now. We've extended it over this way, added in some grass to make it look, you know, a little bit more normal. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. All right, and so that pretty much does it for our village. I know it's not the craziest, like biggest village you've ever seen, but I'm happy with it. We might end up adding onto it in the near future as well. All right, and so that just about does it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.